number 1. A neutron exerts a force on a proton which is A. Gravitational, B. Electromagnetic, C. Nuclear, D. Weak. So which is the correct option for this? We know already gravitational force in between mass and mass, and electromagnetic force between two charged particles, and nuclear force is in between nucleons, proton and proton, proton neutron and neutron neutron, and weak forces that are obtained in modern physics, that is lepton, hadrons and baryons. So here a neutron is not a charged particle. Here proton is a positively charged particle. So neutron contains some amount of mass, proton is also contains some amount of mass. So that's why mass. So gravitational force exists between neutron and proton. But here electromagnetic charged particles, proton is only the charged one, but neutron is not. So that's why it is not the correct option. And C, nuclear force, proton neutron and neutron neutron. Here neutron proton is present, here neutron and here proton. So that's why C is the correct option for it. So and D, no need to check. Why? Because this is the obtained in modern physics. So that's why the correct options are A and C are the correct options for question number 1. The question number 2. A proton exerts a force on proton which is A. Gravitational, B. Electromagnetic, C. Nuclear, D. Weak. So out of A, B, C, D, which one is the correct option for this one? So first of all, we know that gravitational force in between mass and mass, and electromagnetic between charged particles, and a nuclear force between the nucleons, proton, neutron, proton, and weak forces are obtained in between in the chapter of modern physics, that is between leptons, hadrons and baryons. So here a proton is a charged particle. Proton is a charged particle. So charged particle and charged particles, option B is correct. And also proton contains mass, and proton this is also contains mass. So that's why that is the gravitational force, and also proton and protons are the nucleons. So that's why that is also nuclear force is also exists. So here weak force no need to discuss. Why? Because this is the modern physics. So that's why what are the correct options for the question number 2? A, B and C are the correct options for question number 2. Now the question number 3. Mark the correct statements. A. Observe carefully. The nuclear force between two protons is always greater than the electromagnetic force between them. It never be possible. The nuclear force between two protons is always greater is not possible. So that's why this option is wrong. B. The electromagnetic force between two protons is always greater than the gravitational force between them. Why? Because the gravitational force is the longest range with the weak force. So that's why the electromagnetic force between two protons is always greater than the gravitational force between them. This option is correct. Now observe the C. The gravitational force between two protons may be greater than the nuclear force between them. So may be greater than, that is the correct option. Why? Because it is the longest range with the weak force. Here may be greater than the nuclear force is correct. And D. Electromagnetic force between two protons may be greater than the nuclear force acting between them. This is also the correct option. So here A, B, C, D are the correct options for question number 3. Here the question number 4. If all matter were made of electrically neutral particles such as neutrons, A, option A, there would be no force of friction. B, there would be no tension in the string, and it would not be possible to sit on a chair. And D, the earth could not move around the sun. To answer this question, first of all, if all the matter present in the universe, that is, were made of electrically neutral particles such as neutrons, that means weak attraction between those two. So first of all, there would be no force of friction. If there is an attraction, there will be friction. There is a friction is opposing force. So that's why there would be no force of friction is correct option. And B, there would be no tension in the string. Tension is always pulls the body. So when there is a force of attraction, then it pulls the body. So that's why there would be no tension in the string is also correct option. and C. It would not be possible to sit on a chair. Both are neutral particles. All the matter is made up of neutral particles, that is neutrons. What we have to do here, if you are sitting also, it should not be possible on sitting on a chair. So that's why it would not be possible to sit on a chair. This is also correct option. But here the earth could not move around the sun. It is not possible. So that's why earth always revolves around the sun due to the gravitational pull of the attraction. Here A, B, C are the correct options for question number 4. Now, the question number 5. Which of the following systems may be adequately described by classical physics? A. Motion of a cricket ball. B. Motion of a dust particle. C. A hydrogen atom. D. A neutron changing into proton. So first of all, classical physics, it is related purely to the masses. So that's why motion of a cricket ball, that is the correct option, and B, motion of a dust particle contains mass, that is also correct option. C, a hydrogen atom. Inside the hydrogen atom, one proton, neutron and something, the fundamental particles which are present here. Here C, a hydrogen atom. It is also not possible. Here a neutron changing into proton, that is completely modern physics. So that's why the options A and B are the correct options for question number 5. Here the question number 6. The two ends of a spring are displaced along the length of the spring. All the displacements have equal magnitudes. In which case or cases the tension or compression in the spring will have the maximum magnitude? Option A. The right end is displaced towards right and the left hand displaces towards left. B. Both ends are displaced towards right side. C. Both ends are displaced towards left side and the right end is displaced towards left and the left end is displaced towards the right. So to answer this one, first of all I will take the spring, and also the condition is given. The two ends of a spring are displaced along the length of the spring. Suppose this is the spring is there. Along the length of the spring only, that is expansion must be takes place. All the displacements are equal in magnitude. How much amount of displacement we are taking towards left side or right side, towards right side or left side, or left or right, whatever it may be, the equal in magnitude. The displacement must be equal in magnitude. So now first one. The right end is displaced towards the right and left end is displaced towards the left. So this is the right end, this is the left end. So what is given? The right end is displaced towards right. So the right end is displaced toward the right side and left end is displaced toward the left side. Then what happens here? Spring elongation must be takes place. That means here the tension is more in this one. So that means here spring elongation will be takes place. Here spring elongation must be takes place. So here in which case or cases the tension and compression in the spring will have maximum magnitude. So here elongation is more means here tension is also more. So that's why this option is correct. Next B. Both ends are displaced towards right side. This is also displacing. This is left side. This is right end. So left side, this is also displacing this side and this is also displacing this side. So both are moving in the same direction. Elongation is less, compression is less, tension is also less. So that's why this is not the correct option. And both the ends are displaced towards left side. Here left, here right. This is displacing this side and this is also displacing this side. That means all the along the length of the spring, displacing both the ends are displacing toward the left side. Here also elongation is less, tension is also less and compression is also less. So this is also not the correct option. Now D. The right end is displaced towards left side. Here left, here right. So right end is displaced towards the left side and left end is displaced toward the right side. What happens in this case? That is compression will take place. Compression is maximum. So that's why in the first case tension is more, that tension is maximum. Here compression is maximum. So the correct option is D. So for this question, the correct options are A and D. Here the question number 7. Action and reaction. A. Act on two different objects. B. Have equal magnitudes. C. Have opposite directions. D. Have resultant zero. To answer this one, we should have an idea about the Newton's third law of motion. That is, for every action in nature, there is an equal and opposite in reaction. For every action, opposite reaction. Action is equal to minus reaction. Remember that. So here, very important point here. Action is equal to minus reaction. So option A, act on two different objects. One body exerting the force on the other body, that is action. With that action, other body reacts, that is known as the reaction force. So that means action and reaction are acting on the different bodies. So option A correct. B, have equal in magnitude. How much amount of force you are acting on the body, same reaction force equal in magnitude you are getting. So that's why this is also correct option. And C, have opposite direction. One force acting on this side, other force acting from that side. So that is have opposite directions. And have resultant is zero. Why? Because equal in magnitude, opposite in directions, resultant must be zero. So A, B, C, D are the correct options for question number 7.